The following featured presentation is part of the Skywalking Network.
We stir the mixture. Stir, 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 stir.
Why do I always think that taking you home for Life Day is going to be easy?
I don't know how to explain it. It's wow. Come back soon. I'll be waiting.
Stir, whip.
Maybe I can help you. I am Boba Fett. Follow me, friend.
I want the rebels located and identified.
Chewbacca, we were so relieved to hear you were all right.
All of you are an important part of my life, pal. I'm glad I could be here.
Try to enjoy your Life Day.
Happy Life Day, pal.
Happy, happy anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Whip, whip, stir, wow!
Are you ready?
Welcome to Neverland.
Here we go.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
When I first made Star Wars, everybody in Hollywood said, well, this is a movie Disney should have made.
You're more than just fans. You're family.
Best day ever!
Secret Squirrel.
It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
Hey, hey.
When you use a bird to write with, it's called tweeting.
When we visit the world of Disney, we never grow old. It's a Peter Pan, Never Never Land that keeps us young in heart.
This is Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you are skywalking through Neverland. I have a good feeling about this.
Hey, Skywalkers! Hey, don't you just love anniversaries? Well, this week we celebrate the 34th anniversary of the Ewok Adventure, the 35th anniversary of the birth of Adam Driver, the 36th anniversary of the last time that we saw The Empire Strikes Back re-released in movie theaters. However, on this episode, we will cover the 40th anniversary of the Star Wars Holiday Special. And in case you are in a celebratory mood, then we want to welcome you to Skywalking Through Neverland. We are your enthusiastic podcast destination for the many decades of your Star Wars, Disney, and Marvel fandom. I am Richard Woloski, your tour guide through the many decades of fandom. But everyone, please say hello to my Mala, my sweetie wife, Sarah.
Oh, does that mean I'm fuzzy?
Yes, you are.
Now, wait a minute. You were talking about the anniversaries up top, and I have to bring up something. I'm older than Adam Driver?
Yes, you are.
What the heck?
By 2 years.
Whoa.
So the next time he's in the same room with us, you can say, hey, I'm no longer the youngest.
No, exactly. Wow. Well, I think that deserves a Wookiee hug to our family of Skywalkers. We want to thank you guys for listening to the show every week. And also, all of you watching on Facebook Live right now. In fact, we're thinking of going to Instagram Live. I wonder how many people would like that. So please let us know.
Well, that's the new big thing.
It is. Instagram's like the new big thing. So we've been switching up our live, so we might go to Instagram Live. Anyway, it was a thought. So please let us know, Skywalkers, at Skywalking Pod on Twitter and Instagram. Now, we just love it when you share our joy in this adventure through fandom. Now, today, we are recording this episode from Long Beach, California on November 19th, 2018.
Hey, Mickey, now that you're 90 years old and one day, now tell us the time as I try to stall the fact that Sarah does not have the time ready.
I had Minnie ready.
Okay.
Well, here we go.
It's 10:14. Good morning, pal.
Well, thank you, Mickey. Once again, a very, very happy 90th birthday.
Yeah, and I'm wearing my fuzzy holiday Mickey ears. I love them so much.
Yes, and I'm wearing my Chewbacca costume right now, which consists of a fuzzy hat and a, what do you call this? It's a top. It's a pajama top.
Pajama top from the Disney store.
Yes, and it looks like Chewbacca with a bandolier.
Oh, it's so cute.
Very, very fuzzy.
And it's soft.
For anyone on Facebook Live, you can see me.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll post a picture.
Okay.
Now,
a screenshot.
A screenshot, yes. All right, now, coming up on this episode, we celebrate a day of peace and a day of harmony by celebrating the 40th anniversary of the Star Wars Holiday Special. We give our reasons to be thankful for the special, and joining us will be Tom Spina of Tom Spina Designs and Regal Robot. Then, making his debut here on Skywalking Through Neverland, we have Scott Kirkwood.
He is the creator of the newly revamped website, StarWarsHolidaySpecial.com. Now, I love it when we have such energetic and enthusiastic guests, much like us.
Oh, these guests will prove that time and time again. Now, we also have lots and lots of things we want to share, including our Patreon contest winner. But first, we need to help somebody out.
Exactly, yeah. Little did we know that there was another Star Wars podcast from Long Beach, California.
What are the odds?
I know, and not just anywhere in Long Beach, because Long Beach is a pretty big city, but they are literally right up the street. So Steve...
like 2 blocks.
2 blocks, yes, 2 blocks over. So Steve Baldwin from the Wretched Hive Podcast, he reached out to us and asked if we could help out one of their listeners. Now, his name is Matthew Jacobs. He's an Air Force veteran, a huge Star Wars fan, and unfortunately, he just lost everything in the fires that have been blazing through the state of California. So Steve just sent us in a message hoping that the Skywalkers can help him out.
Hello, Skywalkers. We've never met, but my name is Steve Baldwin, and I host a Star Wars podcast called The Wretched Hive. I'm here today because I reached out to Sarah and Richard, and they were gracious enough to help me spread the word about a fellow Star Wars fan in need. His name is Matthew Jacobs, and earlier this year, on November 9th, his home was one of thousands that was burned to the ground by the so-called campfire that all but leveled the town of Paradise, California. If you haven't seen images, you need to go on Google and search for Paradise, California fire images. It is scary, and the aftermath is even scarier. Homes were literally leveled, and unfortunately Matthews was one of them. He's an Air Force veteran, a longtime listener of our show, and of course a huge Star Wars fan. His Air Force buddies set up a GoFundMe account so people can donate to help him, but because he has such a large family and resources that others don't have, Matthew's plan is to give 75% of the funds raised to evacuees in need. So I'm here to ask for your help and support for Matthew, his neighbors, and the residents of Paradise, California. And you can do so by simply going to www.gofundme.com/XYXY, the number 2, the letter D, -fire, -recovery, and give $1, $5, whatever you can spare to help a fellow Star Wars fan help others. Again, that URL is www.gofundme.com/XY2D-fire-recovery. Thanks very much for your help, and may the Force be with us all.
All right, Skywalker, so please do what you can. $1, $2, $3, $3.50, $3.75, whatever you can do to chip in, whatever you can spare will definitely help. And once again, that was GoFundMe.com/XYXY2D, as in Darth, -fire-recovery. Okay, so many people have lost lives, they've lost their homes, they've pretty much lost everything. So we want to thank you, Skywalkers, for helping out and giving in this week of Giving Thanks.
Things we want to share. Things we want to share. Things we want to share.
All right, so who here watched the Star Wars Holiday Special last Saturday on its official 40th birthday? Woo! Our hands are raised. We had a little house gathering here. We watched the Star Wars Holiday Special. There were so many people who had never seen it, and we thought this would be the greatest time to do it. So we had a party. We watched the Holiday Special. A friend of mine just happened to mention that he had friends who worked on the Holiday Special. the Welches, the producers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was friends with them.
Oh, my gosh.
One of them passed away, but he knows the daughter and he knows B. Arthur's son, so we'll be getting in touch with them really, really soon. But we want to remind everyone that coming up on this Sunday, November 25th, we will be hosting a Star Wars Holiday Special panel at the LostCon convention at the Marriott Los Angeles Airport Hotel.
And that will be at 1 p.m., our panel. But it's worth it to come to the whole LostCon convention and, check out, there's a merchandise section. There's going to be other panels going on. And at our particular panel, Craig Miller will be our guest.
Now, most of you know Craig Miller. He's been on the show many times talking about working in publicity on Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back. And we'll be going over some fun facts, some stories, and of course, like always at our meetups and panels, there will be lots and lots of giveaways.
Yes. And so we're going to post more info on our show notes, and we hope to see everyone there. So if you want to look it up right now, you can head to lostcon.org/45.
Yeah, so once again, that is November the 25th, Sunday, at the Marriott Los Angeles Airport Hotel at 1 p.m. Last year we were there, we played some games, did some panels, lots and lots of fun. A lot of Star Wars luminaries show up because Craig Miller was running the convention last year, and I think he got a lot of people hooked on this convention because it really is geared toward the veteran classic fans.
Right.
And wow, I just can't wait for this.
Now, we want to give a big shout out to Jonna Marie Macias for putting us in touch with the LA Times for their big 40th anniversary article. We spoke with Jessica Roy. She was the reporter who was writing this article, and we spoke with her for about 30 to 40 minutes last week since she and her husband are also big fans. So Jessica had written us an email saying that most of the article that she had written was unfortunately cut down for publishing because it would have been really a short story at that point. But Richard, you got some quotes in there.
Yeah, I think we both did.
Yeah, and then Trisha Barr as well was also quoted. So that was really neat. And I think through that article, we also got in touch with someone who is creating a Star Wars Holiday Special play.
Andrew Osborne, who reached out to us, he had said that he is going to do a play on the origin of the Star Wars Holiday Special, and at our LostCon panel, he's going to be giving us some comp tickets to give away to the panel, to the audience.
To the audience, yeah, cool.
And some t-shirts. Yeah, he's got a really cool t-shirt that says, "May the Force be Arthur." Has a picture of Akmina.
That's
love
awesome.
Love it. So more information to come with that. Now, if you want more insight on the Star Wars Holiday Special, and who wouldn't, well, we posted an article on the skywalkingthrough-neverland.com.
Yeah, and it's the top 5 reasons to appreciate the Star Wars Holiday Special. Now, this was really designed for those who have not really seen it, or maybe just heard bad things about it, or maybe you remember it in a weird way. So this will show you that there is some good in there.
Such as the introduction of Boba Fett.
Whoa.
Yeah, the breakdown of the Mos Eisley Cantina, meeting Chewie's family, and so much more to appreciate with the Star Wars Holiday Special.
And now, Richard, you worked a long time on this article. He was working really hard. So please head to skywalkingthrough-neverland.com, and over on the articles section, you'll see it right there. And it really is a great article. It was fun to read.
Oh, thank you very much. And like Jessica Roy, this was turning out to be like a short story. It's like the size of a James Michener novel. That's pretty thick. So I thought, let's do it in little chunks. So here's 5 reasons now. Next year we'll do another 5 reasons. But I wanted this to be something bite-sized, so someone just coming into the holiday special can go, oh, okay, I can get through this list pretty quickly. And it does give some background as to why the special turned out the way it turned out.
Right.
Now, I love it when classic fans show their kids the Star Wars Holiday Special, and this in turn sparks creativity in their kids. Now, a gentleman by the name of Peter Kovacs emailed us, and he shared a song that his teen kids, Lauren and Tristan, had composed and did a video for.
Yeah, YouTube video.
Yeah, really, really well done. So here's a clip. Now, they do drop the S-bomb, but we did bleep that out.
Yeah.
Because this is a family-friendly show. All right, so check this out.
You showed me a film they thought that I would like, but no. It was pretty strange. In 1978, we were living in the basement, watching TV coming in waves. And why though did you make it that way? It's strange. And why though can't they keep it the same? Okay. And Life Day, and Chewy's got kids running about. And Life Day, and Chewy's got shit going on in his house.
Oh my goodness, that was so cool. And yeah, we'll definitely post the YouTube video clip in our show notes. That'll be right there in the show notes because it's really fun to watch the video too. They did a lot of creative things.
Yeah, very much so.
And it's funny to see something so old-fashioned be taken and put in today's time. You know, like the creativity around it is today's creativity on something that's like 70s creativity.
Oh, very much so. And we like the word vintage or classic, not old-fashioned, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But then again, head over to the show notes and you'll see their video, and the kids have a couple of other songs on Spotify.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very, very creative kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, teens. Hard to tell.
Lauren and Tristan, thank you.
Yes. All right, Sarah, is that all we have to share about the Star Wars Holiday Special before bringing on our guests, Tom Spina and Scott Kirkwood?
Well, knowing you, that's not all we have.
No. Now, this is a clip from B. Arthur. She played Akmina in the Star Wars Holiday Special. And this is a clip I had found on StarWarsHolidaySpecial.com where she was being interviewed by the Television Academy about appearing in a Star Trek episode. The interviewer picked up on this, her being in a Star Trek episode, because of an interview that Leonard Nimoy had done way in the past when he had brought up B. Arthur's name when describing a Star Trek episode.
Okay.
But it was another actress entirely. But he just, for some reason, I guess he was just watching Golden Girls and picked up on B. Arthur's name and just dropped her name.
Okay.
So this interviewer said, so tell me about being in Star Trek. So B. Arthur she connected dots and said, Star Trek, Star Wars. Oh, Star Wars. Oh, you mean the Star Wars Holiday Special. So this was her answer about being in Star Trek. That never really happened.
Yes. Which is very interesting because I completely forgot about it. I mean, I didn't forget about it, but I never gave it much thought once we finished with it. But even to this day, I get pictures that fans send, of me in the costume and everything, and please autograph it. And apparently it was a big thing, but I was never into the whole Star Wars thing, so. But it was, and who was in it? Harvey Korman and I were in a bar with aliens and strange-looking people, and it's a lovely piece written by Mitzi and Ken Welch.
Gentlemen, I guess you didn't hear what I said. The Empire has closed us down. Fellas, the party is over.
All right, Richard, is it time to get into our interview?
No, Sarah, because there's more to share. Come on, this is Life Day we're talking about. We want to share.
Okay. Well, yeah, actually, can I share this one?
Yes, you can.
Okay. There's actually been several references to the Star Wars Holiday Special in several current shows over the years. Glee did their holiday special as an homage to the Star Wars holiday special a few years ago.
Very, very well done.
It was great. It was so campy. It was awesome. And the music and everything, like, it was just like that. It was like a variety show.
Well, they really replicated the whole intro to the holiday special where they introduced every character. Very, very well done.
Yeah, they totally did. Well, okay. So my show, Supergirl, just dropped a fun holiday special reference. So this is from season 3, episode 9, called The Rain.
I enjoy Christmas. What a wonderful way to close your year. Paying homage to an evergreen creature. It so reminds me of Life Day.
Excuse me, hi. Life Day? As in the Star Wars holiday special? It was on CBS. Princess Leia, sang a song. You have no idea what I'm talking about. Oh my God, you don't know what Star Wars is. You probably don't know what Star Wars is.
Excuse me? The Empire Strikes Back is the best movie sequel of all time.
I mean, I just love you more and more each day.
What's a sequel?
Trust Jeremy Jordan to bring up the Star Wars holiday special.
Love that reference.
I know. And ever since I know that Jeremy Jordan is like Newsies, he's like Jack and Newsies. It's like, oh. Yeah,
Now, this isn't holiday special related, but Kenny Crayley Jr. just posted another Star Wars reference in Supergirl. So we thought, while we're here, let's just go ahead with this. Mm-hmm. This is from season 3, episode 23, Battles Lost and Won.
You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home.
I assume that's some sort of film reference.
We never showed you Star Wars? Not a single Star Wars?
Not a single Star Wars. What does that mean?
That's almost like that reference in Arrested Development when the Mama Bluth told the one son there, the adopted son, here's $5 and go and see a Star Wars.
Star Wars. It's like Kara didn't even see Star Wars.
Yeah, it's like Star Wars is the plural of all the movies, but one movie is a Star War. Nice.
Oh, I love
Well,
it.
if anyone else out there has got a Star Wars or a Disney reference from a TV show, please let us know.
Yeah, we love playing those little Easter eggs.
All right, Sarah, now it's time to name the Patreon winner.
That's right. So, for our Skywalking Force members of $5 or above, we actually went to Disneyland and we got some holiday time goodies. So what we're going to do right now is we put all your names in a hat, and just so you Skywalkers, if you're not a part of the Skywalking Force, what we're going to do is we're going to draw a name from just the Skywalking Force. They're going to get to pick one of 3 items, and then the other 2 remaining items are going to be in another holiday giveaway we're going to do over the next couple weeks.
This is the best Life Day ever.
Yes. So don't worry. If you're not part of the Skywalking Force, you will have a chance to win. You have better odds if you're part of the Skywalking Force because there's 14 names here.
All right, should we go and get the prizes?
Yes. Let's get the prizes. All right, here we go. Oh, all right. This is one of them. It is the Alien Popcorn Bucket, Holiday Popcorn Bucket. It's so cute. He's green. He's got a Santa hat on. He's wearing his little red suit with the Pizza Planet logo.
Yeah, this is the alien from Toy Story.
And this is what we're going to use as our sorting hat. Bing! We're going to put our names right in
Put their
here.
names.
Put their names.
Yeah, all the Patreon contributors will go right inside of here.
Yep, hold on. His mouth isn't that big. And I've got some other little goodies in here.
Oh.
Ooh. Yeah. All right, hold on. Bam! And if you're part of the Skywalking Force, even if you don't win, you may be getting some little goodies in the mail if you give us your address. Oops! Oh no!
Okay, I got it.
Grab the name!
I got it.
All right.
Okay, you ready?
All right, put them in. Okay, now, what we're going to... so they have a choice between this alien popcorn bucket. So, okay, names are being... And then what else do we have?
And we also have this droid from Disneyland. It's the R4H18 Holiday Droid.
Mm-hmm.
Carded figure, pristine condition. It has not been opened. Not by me, anyway. If you win this, you can open it, do whatever you want with it. I implore you not to open it, though. And then we have this. Oh, look at this. It is a red baseball cap that says, "Light up the holiday." It's from Disneyland. It's got Mickey ears, and it lights up.
And Mickey antlers. So antlers and ears. It's so cute. And it's got little hanging ornaments from it that are depicting rides from Disneyland. So it has it's a Small World little holiday ornament. It has a little gingerbread man. It has, something like these wallpaper from Haunted Mansion. Oh. It's got an ornament made out of that.
Oh, I want this.
I know. And then it has, I'm not sure which ride this is depicting. Maybe,
I think that's this from A Small World.
What? Oh, no, Small World is definitely this one.
That's that one right
that's
there.
That's the clock face of Small World. So this Fantasyland is what I'm getting from that. I think that's just
a generic Christmas ornament.
Yeah.
Hey, but check this out.
Okay. Can you see it? Oh! It lights up.
It blinks, and it lights up.
Yep.
Oh. It just calls attention to itself.
Yes. All right, so you hold on to that. So, once again, I'm going to pull names from these 14 names in here. Okay. All of them are in here. All right, ready?
Ready. Okay. Mix them up.
Mixing up.
Sarah is now reaching into the alien's mouth.
All right. I've got, you read it.
Okay, no. You know what? We'll read it together like the Oscars.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Bryn McKinnon!
Oh. All right, there we go.
So someone contact Bryn McKinnon. I guess we can do that too.
Yes, we'll contact her and ask which of these prizes she would like. Mm-hmm. And then once again, Skywalkers, we're going to do an Instagram giveaway for the remaining 2 items for any Skywalker who follows us on Instagram and is going to share the posts that we'll post. So it is at Skywalking Pod on Instagram. Stay tuned to our social channels in the next week or so, and we'll do that giveaway for everyone. All right, Skywalkers?
All right. Well, thank you once again to all the Patreon Skywalking force.
Yes. And if you want to check that out, there's a lot of little goodies there, including extra content. And that is skywalkingforce.com. And we'll periodically be doing extra things on there that we don't say in the, what's available as gifts, like this. We never decided to do a contest. We were just at Disneyland and decided, hey, let's give back. So, we might do fun things like that from time to time.
Oh, I can guarantee it. All right, Skywalker. So we know that a lot of news was just released about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
I know, including the soundtrack.
The soundtrack, some clips, some fun stuff.
It was at Destination D in Walt Disney World, and because this holiday special episode, we have so much to share, we're going to have to cover it next week. Because we really want to give and dedicate some time.
Yes, definitely. And we also want to share a Stan Lee story.
Yes.
Yeah, this came from the time when I met him during an audition for his reality superhero show, Who Wants to Be a Superhero?
Yeah.
I got a chance to meet Stan Lee, and I posted a picture of me in costume with Stan Lee. So we'll go over all that on the next episode.
Yeah, so much to share. But now it's time to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Star Wars Holiday Special with Scott Kirkwood and Tom Spina.
Will you get on with it?
Okay.
It was 40 years ago, on November 18th, 1978, that we got our one and only viewing of the Star Wars Holiday Special on primetime television. It was a special that Starlog magazine called one of the most ambitious television spectaculars ever attempted by an American network.
Well, it's that time of year again when it's important to reflect back on what we are thankful for. So we invited 2 very special guests to share what they are thankful for when it comes to the Star Wars Holiday Special. From Regal Robot and Tom Spina Designs, please welcome Tom Spina.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, guys. Thank you for that very official welcome there.
Well, that's how we roll over here on Skywalking Through Neverland.
Everything's official over here.
I appreciate that.
All right, so now let's get to the holiday special, one of our favorite subjects. But when did you first see the Star Wars Holiday Special? Did you see it in 1978?
I sure did. I watched it with eager delight as a child. And certainly through the lenses of a 5 or 6 year old kid soaking that up. It was definitely not probably what I would call a true representation of what it was. That wasn't what I absorbed, but it was magic to me, and it was just so cool to see.
So then, when did you see it the next time? Because like you, I saw it in 1978, but I didn't see it again until the mid-90s.
Wow.
And it was nothing the way I had imagined it.
Or remembered
it was the early 90s for me. I want to say 90 or 91. There were a couple of conventions in the area. There was Chiller Convention in New Jersey. There was Forey's famous Monster Con, which was around that time. And I believe it was at Chiller that a friend of mine picked up a copy of it. And it was just eye-opening.
Wow.
It was really, really just a shock to our system watching this for essentially the first time at that point. You know, it was the first time with real adult eyes.
Right.
And oh gosh, yeah, that's something you don't forget.
Now, do you guys both know that there is a Star Wars Holiday Special.com?
Yes, we do. And
I sure do.
It just so happens that we have the creator of Star Wars Holiday Special.com with us right now. Please, everyone, welcome Mr. Scott Kirkwood. Hey, Scott.
Scotty.
Hello, guys.
Hey, so same question to you. When did you first see the Star Wars Holiday Special?
I, too, was lucky enough to see it in 1978 when it aired. I didn't have a television in my house, and we saw it at my grandparents' house. So it was definitely a very special event. My dad was aware that it was going to be showing. We'd seen it in the newspaper, and he made sure that we happened to be at my grandparents' house that evening. So I have to be thankful for that.
Oh,
Nice.
that's lovely.
Aw.
Like I was just saying to Tom, I hadn't seen it since 1978 until the mid-90s, but going back to Star Wars Celebration Zero, which is that first Star Wars official convention back in 87, a couple of fans got together and held a special screening.
Oh my.
And guess who they invited? Mr. Peter Mayhew.
Oh.
And guess who was not invited? Me.
Yeah, should have seen that coming.
Yeah, I don't get picked for Rebel Spies. I don't get picked for Star Wars Holiday Special screenings. I just can't win.
You know what, though? You create your own Star Wars Holiday Special screenings and podcast episodes. So it's all good.
And with that, let's please welcome Mr. Peter Mayhew.
What?
Oh.
You know what? You know when you just say something and you hope there's follow-through?
Right, yeah.
You just disappointed millions,
I
Richard.
know.
Right.
But that being said, Scott, I really want to know, when did you start this website and what led you to compile all this great holiday special info?
Very good question. So I'll give you a little background. When I saw the special in 1978, it sort of profoundly affected me because it actually was the first Star Wars movie I had seen. I was already a big Star Wars fan, but again, we didn't go to movies either, so I never got to see Star Wars until it came on a videotape much later. So this was a big special event for me, and so it really kind of had a bigger impact on me than it would have probably had I seen Star Wars already. I'd read the comic books and the novel, and I had toys and so forth, but I hadn't seen the movie yet.
Okay. I was going to ask what was your gateway, and was kind of this film, but you said the comics and the toys, so that makes sense. You knew the story,
right,
of Star Wars.
I was a big fan already, and this was my first chance to actually see those characters in real life on the screen, and it was very exciting. And I remember there were some parts that I was a little confused about. I couldn't figure out what Diane Carroll was doing on there.
I'm getting your message. Are you getting mine? Oh.
Apart from that, the other parts, especially the parts with the main characters, I was really on the edge of my chair, or the edge of the shag carpet that I was sitting on, I was super excited and really enjoyed it. And the funny thing was, the next day I went to school and kids talked about it. It's like, oh yeah, did you see Boba Fett? That was great and so forth. And then after that, it seemed like no one ever talked about it again. And I would periodically ask someone about it, say, oh yeah, do you remember that Star Wars Holiday Special? And they'd be like, what Star Wars Holiday Special? So as time went by and years went by and nobody seemed to remember it, and there was no evidence of it, and it never came out on videotape or anything. And I looked and looked to try and find a copy of it, couldn't find one anywhere. I began to wonder, like, was it a weird dream that I had or something? I knew that I'd seen it, and I couldn't convince people that it was real. So I was like, I've got to find this. I've got to find anything having to do with the holiday special, so I can prove that it existed, that it happened. So I just started gathering things. The first thing I got was the Starlog magazine that had the articles on the holiday special and or had the photos and so forth. And then after that, it was anything I could find, which wasn't much. And it wasn't until about 1994 that I walked into an alternative record store that I went in all the time, and sitting there amongst all like the bootleg music videos and stuff on videotape, I saw the Star Wars Holiday Special, and I just flipped out. And of course, I took it home. And it was a terrible copy. It was, copy of a copy of a copy, and it was sort of tinted orange and like had ghost images and
mine was green. Mine was tinted like super green.
Yeah.
Wow.
This one's particularly orange. I still have it. I still have that copy. And so, but I had it, and I was again, I was ecstatic because now I could show my friends. It's like, it exists. It's real. So I invited some of my friends over to watch it. And, well, I guess I'm lucky they're still my friends.
Right. Very lucky. Yeah.
But any chance I got, I would show it to people. And eventually, I'd gathered up enough stuff that I'd done a couple of websites, and a Star Wars related one previously, and Star Wars Cutscenes actually was the name of it. And in the back of my head, I thought, someday I should do a holiday special website. So once I got my hands on the script, I got a copy, actually an original script that was used on the set. And I looked in it and saw all this stuff that nobody knew that was in the script. This stuff that had never been revealed before, like character names that aren't actually mentioned on screen or anything. I thought, this is it. I really need to put this online. And so it was about 2002, and I built this website, put it all together, and put everything that I had, everything I gathered over the years, onto the site. And that's when it started. That's when I opened it up.
Wow. Where did the script come from?
It was an eBay find. It popped up, and I had been looking for stuff on eBay for quite a while, and always keeping an eye on stuff that would pop up, photographs or whatever. And this script popped up, and at the time, people weren't that interested in stuff related to the holiday special. It wasn't a big, thing that people searched for. And I saw it pop up, and there was a bid, and there was a buy it now. And I looked at the buy it now, and I thought for about 2 seconds, and then I hit the buy it now because I knew that I let that pass, I would never forgive myself.
Right. A friend of mine is a friend of B. Arthur's son, and B. Arthur's son has a Star Wars Holiday Special script. And I've been asking my friend for about 25 years now, please just get a photocopy, get the original, anything. I'll pay whatever he wants, but at least let me talk to this guy. I want to see if he's got any stories. Maybe he was on set, but something. I would love. It's out there.
Yeah, maybe B. Arthur's got her notes in the side columns there or something.
Man.
Yeah, like I have no idea what I'm doing, what is going on, what's a blood load.
Right. So this, I assume this is the B. Arthur copy of the script, right?
Yes. It's exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Which is why I vow to get this script.
Wow.
John Amber, if you're listening, I vow to you I will have that script from your friend.
So that script, if it's B. Arthur's original, it should come in a nice black 3-ring binder that has Star Wars Holiday Special logo embossed on it with her name embossed on the corner.
Oh.
Whose script do you have?
Mine is kind of, it's the cue cards script. So it was the one that they used on set to do the cue cards. So it wasn't for a person particularly.
Right.
So I don't have the fancy binder.
Oh, that's a collectible right there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I'll keep you guys posted if I can get B. Arthur's script, and I'll make everyone a copy.
Now, before we continue, I should mention that I did not see the holiday special in 1978.
What? Why, Sarah? Why?
Get out.
Well, because I wasn't born yet. So I didn't know this existed until, about, what, like 10 years ago?
No, 2014. Oh,
Really?
existed or have seen?
Existed.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't actually see it until 2014 when, Richard, you found a bootleg copy, right?
Oh, yeah, I've had one since the 90s.
Okay,
And
well-
I waited for just the right time to show it to you.
Is that what you were doing? Yeah?
How does one judge just the right time to show this to a girl? I'm just wondering, because you sound like you really thought this through there, Richard.
You know what? We were already married.
Oh, I see. There you go.
It was our wedding night.
So what you're saying is something
I was
that's
too late
legally
by that
binding is what he was waiting for. Got it. Yeah.
I waited for that time period where she could have it annulled.
Oh.
Then I showed her. No,
Oh.
no,
Right, yeah,
no. That's not. Let's not go there. We love the
No.
holiday special.
You do.
Yeah.
All right, now I want to talk about this. You two had hosted a panel along with Pablo Hidalgo to commemorate the 40th anniversary of the Star Wars Holiday Special at the Salt Lake City Comic-Con back in September. Now, when you guys were researching this panel, did you learn anything that you hadn't known before?
I think we did.
Yeah, I feel like every time I talk to Scott, I learned something I didn't know before about the holiday special. But yeah, anytime we start digging into it for one of these panels, it usually, for me, it usually starts in images. And it's going through things like the Lucasfilm Image Archives. It's going through things like Scott's archives and finding, these rare shots that we either haven't seen before or ones we've seen before, but you take a fresh look at and you start to notice, just different little elements that maybe you didn't pick up on the first few times or the first 100 times you've looked at a shot. It's just amazing. It feels like every time we do any panel, regardless of the subject, you get to take this fresh look at all of your images, and there's always something new that pops up.
Now, once again, I advise everyone to go to Scott's website, and that is StarWarsHolidaySpecial.com. So, Scott, did you learn anything that you didn't already know when you were researching for the panel?
Yeah, I think there's some things I uncovered myself that I didn't realize, but Tom always has something, particularly about the cantina usually that is new to me whenever, we talk about that. And also I think there's things that we talked about maybe in the past that haven't been really publicly revealed that got revealed in the panel that were new. So there's that as well.
True.
And you had sent me the link for this panel, so Sarah, let's put that in the show notes to add this YouTube link, because you guys went through things that I never knew, and I've been poring over holiday special facts for decades now.
Well, can you guys give us maybe a tidbit of one of the things that you learned when you did the panel?
I'll tell you, one of the things I hadn't spotted before was the food in the cantina. Like I had always, everybody always notices the drinks of different colors and people pouring them into the tops of their heads. For me, it was looking, re-looking at these images and finding just different, looked like dried fruits or leaves and things like that in plates around, so that, unlike the day shift, B. Arthur was clearly, putting some meals out for these guys, which was nice.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is supposed to be the same cantina as in Star Wars.
Right.
Even though it looks nothing like it.
Well, so that's a weird thing, too. It kind of does. So what they've done is they've introduced a side door, apparently.
Right.
And that's a part of the cantina you never get a real clear look at in the movies. So maybe there's a door there. I don't know.
It's the cantina annex, maybe.
Yeah, sure. But the bar, if you notice it is sort of like it's half of the bar that's in the movie, and there's a mirror in the back. So the idea, I think, the intent was to feel as if it were the same bar, and that she was at that same horseshoe bar that our normal bartender is during the day at the regular cantina from the movie. It's just everything in the holiday special is shot on that one side of the bar.
Yeah, that's kind of a stretch there.
I mean, it's a stretch, but I think that was the intent.
Yeah, because they do clearly say it's the Mos Eisley Cantina.
True, yeah.
Just the set designer didn't look at Star Wars before he designed this.
Right.
This was the best cantina they could do on the budget.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Tom, you mentioned that mirror that's on the wall there in the holiday special cantina. And there's another, we were talking, you and I, about there's a character whose face you can see in the mirror. It's basically after Harvey Korman does his little spiel and then puts his hood on over his head and puts his head down on the bar. That's not Harvey Korman anymore after that until the very end. That's a stand-in. And there's a photo we were looking at where you can see the person sitting with the hood over their head at the bar, but in the mirror you can see their face, and it's not Harvey Korman.
Oh.
And we didn't notice that before. Also, here's something we didn't talk about, Tom. This is something I just thought of a couple days ago. When Harvey Korman pours the drink into his head, you see that he looks up, and he's looking forward into the mirror as he pours the drink in his head, so he can see where he's pouring it and doesn't pour it down his face or whatever. Nice. So that's another use for the mirror that we didn't probably think of before.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I wonder how many takes it took him to do that.
Right.
All right, now let's say that you two had a friend that wanted to watch the Star Wars Holiday Special, but they weren't quite sure if they wanted to. What is the one thing that you could say to maybe turn them around on this?
Entice them.
Yeah, entice them on watching it. What would you say to them, Scott?
One of the things that's really cool is that the cantina scene, you get to see really good shots of these creatures that are, in the movie, they're really, they're obscured by kind of smoke and dim lighting and so forth. And you get a really good look at some of those great creature masks and so forth. And you also get to see some creatures that either weren't used in the movie or that were created specifically for the holiday special.
Yeah, or ones that were created for other purposes but only showed up in the holiday special.
Right. Now, Tom, how about you? If you wanted to turn someone around, what would you say?
Oh, gosh, for me, well, the Boba Fett cartoon is the easy answer there, just being able to tell folks. For starters, I think that cartoon holds up. I think the cantina scene is my favorite by far thing about that the holiday special, but the Boba Fett cartoon is probably the best part of the holiday special. So if you want to turn someone around, you show them the Boba Fett cartoon, and then you don't let them leave until they've watched the rest of it.
Nice.
That's about an hour in.
Well, you air it out of order just to get them, just to hook them, and then they're like, look, if you like this, we'll watch the rest. If you don't, we don't have to. And then they watch it and they're like, oh, that was cool. Yeah, let's watch the rest. And then, you order a pizza and you just kind of watch and wait and see their reaction.
So, Richard, what about you? What would you say?
I would tell them it's very retro. Right now, retro is in.
Ooh.
And I think that might entice a lot of people. It's very kitschy, which is also in as well. And first and foremost, before that, I would maybe say it's not Star Wars. Because if you're expecting a Star Wars type of special, this ain't it. Now, it doesn't try to be anything that it's not. It is a primetime variety show, which was all the rage back then. So if they go into it knowing all of that, I think they might have a little bit more peace of mind when watching it, because they're not going to be expecting something with the Star Wars brand stamped on it.
Yeah, I think that was maybe my problem going in. Yeah, you think Star Wars and you're thinking this, you have this what do you call it? Like this bar.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So that's my fault then.
Yeah, okay.
If I did not preface the special with what I just said, then that's my fault, and I apologize.
That's okay. But yeah, so yeah, I think I would say the same thing. Like, just look at it. This is the late 70s, and just kind of think of it as a time capsule from that period. And
yes,
I think that's more of a way to really go into it.
Right. And you tell all the kids, hey, do you recall Shields and Yarnell?
No.
It's a lot like that.
Right.
Who kids are you talking about?
Kids in their 40s.
There were a lot of other specials at the time, variety show kind of specials that aired that have been forgotten because they're not tied to Star Wars. But they were all kind of along similar lines too.
Yeah,
definitely.
Oh, Carol Burnett, Sonny and Cher.
Oh yeah, and I mean, it didn't even the director or the second director of the holiday special,
Steve Bender.
He also directed a lot of those.
A lot of these shows,
variety
yeah,
specials.
yeah. And he didn't see anything wrong with this because it was CBS told him it is a CBS primetime variety show, and that's what he did.
Yeah. Well, with that, let's go around and give our reasons to be thankful for the Star Wars holiday special.
I know your family's waiting. I know it's an important day. All right, we'll give it a try. I'll set short coordinates. I won't jump far. I'll get you back there in time, pal. Trust me. That's the spirit. You'll be celebrating Life Day before you know it.
The Star Wars Holiday Special.
Who wants to go first?
Yeah, who wants to go first?
Tom?
All right. Seems like I've just gotten nominated by accidentally uttering a sound too quickly there. Okay. Red Snaggletooth. So the first Star Wars, you have two Snaggletooths in there, both of them wearing sort of the red karate outfit, and they have the hunchy back, and they have two different heads. One of those heads got redone, used in the holiday special, and now he's got the monk's cut and the textured skin, and it's actually a really cool look. I like the redo of Snaggletooth, a little bit of drool on his lip. However, you have this great, sort of culmination of Snaggletooth coming together all in the holiday special. You had somehow that version with the karate gi got turned into a blue figure in a spacesuit with kiss boots, and he had the belt buckle based on the guy who designed the figures logo for his old design company, which I just think is awesome. Holiday special comes along. They actually copied the figure more than they copied the first Star Wars and made theirs in a ski suit, a little shorter, the red outfit instead of blue, but okay, it's got blue stripes, close enough. And then they put that guy's belt buckle on there. So now Kenner has to fix the figure, but they fix it to match the holiday special, not the first movie. So I'm going to say Red Snaggletooth because that's our first holiday special action figure.
Bazinga. And what was his name?
Zutton or Zutmore, depending on who you talk to, right?
Yeah. From what I have learned, it's Zutmore in the holiday special, but Zutton in Star Wars. Now, B. Arthur, Acmina does say Zutmore, but I always thought she was saying Zutton, but she does say Zutmore because I watched that clip about 1,000 times.
That's why you want her script.
Kelly, Zutmore, come on, you guys. Haven't I always lent you money?
Yes! That'll solve everything.
She crosses it out. She's like, I'm saying Zutmore. What do I care?
Nice.
I think somebody else must have misheard that as Zutmore or Zutton as well, because when they put out that, when Hasbro put out that figure, they called it Zutton, and I wondered where did they get that? And they must have. Right. I figured they must have just missed
the
it.
Customizable card game, I think, had Tequil and Zutton, and what they did was they photoshopped a picture of Tequil at the time with they photoshopped a blue karate gi onto him for whatever, just to confuse things even more. But in the first movie, there are the two of them. They both have essentially the same outfit, except one has black boots and one has beige boots. And they do have slightly different heads. One has darker hair and a little sort of balding patch on the top, and the other one has reddish hair that's really balding. But anyway, I feel like it's Tequil and Sutton in the first movie, but they keep changing the canon names, so I don't know. I can't follow.
This is a tough one. I'm currently revamping the holiday special website right now for a November 17th relaunch. It's going to be completely redesigned, and we'll have open up a whole bunch of new things and new sections. But one of the things I've been doing is redesigning the characters page, and I've had to go back and redo a lot of the characters that have since changed, been recanonized or whatever, and change it to their new current name. And I'm trying to keep track of all the old names that we used for them and put them in there as aliases or alternate names that they had. But it's a real chore trying to keep track of all of that stuff.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, exciting, because when this episode comes out, Skywalkers, the website will be live.
Yeah, that's true. Once again, StarWarsHolidaySpecial.com.
Yeah.
I'm going to piggyback on that, Tom, and also say the cantina scene. And that is one of the things that I am most thankful for in this holiday special, because we do get to see more of these creatures more close up and in new situations. And you would think that the Rodian would be Greedo because he's wearing the same exact outfit. But nope, that's not Greedo, because Acmina calls him Bloodlow.
Bloodlow, you of all creatures, please do me a favor and leave. Bloodlow, you're heartless.
Yep.
That's another one that gets mixed up too, because in other things they call him Ludlow. They leave off the B.
Oh.
Right.
But clearly in the holiday special, B. Arthur says Bloodlow, and the script proves it. It's Bloodlow.
Oh.
So here's a nice little tidbit. In the cantina in Star Wars, there are 4 different what they called Martians at the time, which are now we think of as Rodians. 3 of them and a dummy. So you had Greedo, you had 2 others, one who I think doesn't even wear a vest, but they all have basically the same outfit. So apparently that's just the style on their planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have the dummy. The interesting thing is, when they went to shoot the close-ups for Greedo months later, with Maria de Aragon as Greedo for the close-ups, they changed the vest out because they must not have sent over the vest, and they used one of the Martian heads, but it wasn't the head that Paul Blake wore. So the head changes a little bit, and each of the heads had the bumps put on by hand, so they were all different. So the one that is in the holiday special is actually the one that Maria wore for the close-ups of Greedo. So very technically, that's Greedo's head in the holiday special, but now he is Bloodlow.
Wow.
Not to be confused with Beto from Return of the Jedi.
Correct.
Another Rodian with the same fashion sense.
Wow.
That's right. Except he's wearing a vest that was made from one of the pilot's outfits in Empire Strikes Back, one of the orange puffy nylon vests there.
Right. Yeah.
It's all about the vests on Rhodia.
Tom, I've got a question for you on that. So the vest that Bloodlow wears in the holiday special, does that have its origin in the shooting of A New Hope? Is that
no?
It's a different
I think
vest.
It's totally new. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd have to double check. So the way that you could tell, so the one that they wore on set in England had pockets, and it was not a suede material at all, or a fuzzy material. The one that was used for the close-ups did have that sort of suede look, and it had no pockets at all. The thing is, when you look at wide shots of when they were shooting, you could see it's actually tucked up underneath the vest. It wasn't really a vest. It was actually a tunic that goes almost to the floor. And there's some shots where they didn't tuck it up yet, and you could see this thing dangling really long. So if you can see any of the shots in the holiday special, if that thing's extra long, then it might be that one. But it has that same suede quality, but I don't think it's the same one.
Interesting. Or maybe they trimmed it for the holiday special.
Could be. Yeah. I mean, they certainly took a trim to Walrus Man's jacket.
Yeah. We also see the Walrus Man, or Ponda Baba, or as he's known in the holiday special, Teak Sidbam.
Gesundheit.
And apparently this guy is quite the dancer because he's dancing with Akmina. Loves to dance. He's just a happy fella, unlike that Ponda Baba.
No, well,
he's not very good with his hands, or not hands necessarily, but his hooves. Not very good with his hooves, so he's a hoofer.
Nice.
Bum, 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 bum.
You waited this whole segment to say that, haven't you?
Up on the spot.
And I recall this came out right after Kenner had released their second wave of Kenner action figures. So I had my Greedo and Walrus Man and Hammerhead, where we see an Authorian in this bar, but it's not Hammerhead or Mama Nadon. It's Deneb Both.
How do you know that?
I did my research.
And Deneb is apparently female, according to Camp.
Oh.
Yes. And do you know how you know it's a female?
No.
I've got no idea. I didn't look that far.
Yeah, he was asking you. He didn't know. That's why he's asking.
So on that note, I was struggling with the update for the site because, so according to the new canon as well, the two Duros at the bar are male and female. The problem, though, is that when Akmina comes up to them when she's first trying to kick everybody out of the bar, she says, "Gentlemen, gentlemen, I don't know how to tell you this," and she's talking specifically to the Duros. She calls them gentlemen.
Right.
But now canon has said, "No, that's male and female. It's they're it's a husband and wife team."
She was mistaken.
That's what we're gonna have to go with here, I guess. Because
and sometimes when you're talking to girls, you'll say, "Hey guys, come over here for a second," or "Do you guys know about this?" And when they're girls,
that's just what B. Arthur says to people. Everybody's gentleman to her,
Yeah, maybe in a galaxy far, far away, gentleman is every alien.
Right, exactly. Now we're gonna give an honorable mention to Akmina's song "Good Night, but Not Goodbye."
Just one more round, friend, then homeward bound, friend. Don't forget me in your dreams. Just one more song, friend, and then so long, friend. The nights get shorter, it seems. Just one more rhyme, friend. Yes, it's a crime, friend. But you know time, friend. Time can fly. So it's good night, friend.
And then when I was watching this, when I was 9 years old, I thought, wait a minute, we didn't see the Star Wars bartender sing a song like this.
Oh, no.
Maybe about no blasters, no blasters?
Right. No droids, no blasters.
Hey! No blasters! No blasters! No blasters! No blasters!
We don't serve their kind here.
No blasters! No blasters! Your droids. They'll have to win outside. We don't want them here. No blasters! No blasters!
Right.
You could make a good song.
No.
But apparently her song worked because she led everyone in a conga line right out the door.
Indeed.
and it worked.
It did. Amazing.
And it worked. All right, Sarah, let's throw it over to you. What are you thankful for in the Star Wars Holiday Special?
I'm really thankful that it fed into the imagination of all the little kids like you guys and helped to bring Star Wars home before VHS was really a thing. Like, I grew up in a time where I always had, VHS and, I watched movies over and over again. Sound of Music was on repeat. Mary Poppins was on repeat.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys couldn't do that with Star Wars, but at least you had this moment in time, this Star Wars Holiday Special.
You know what? That's very, very, very giving of you.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I think also that it was, it did inspire a lot of awesome cosplay.
You know what? That's another very good point.
Yeah?
Because it's great when you go to a convention and you see someone dressed up as like Akmina.
Mm-hmm. Or I specifically remember the guy in the green bodysuit that had like the big feather coming off of his head. And I'm like, what is that? And he was like skin tight green bodysuit. And he looked...
That was fantastic.
Yeah, he looked like Yul Brynner or something. And Richard, you were like, oh... Well, that's obvious.
That's the Ringmaster from the Holiday Special. Duh. Come on, everybody. And I recall we were in that big auditorium and Mark Daniel had looked at him and said, does anyone know who he is? And you heard crickets, and I'm like, what, Mark, over here! He's the ringmaster from the holiday special!
Right. Wow.
You made that guy's day.
I did. But then when I was going through the Star Wars Holiday Special.com, Scott, you have a couple of cosplayers from the holiday special.
Ooh.
Do you have a favorite?
Stuff I've done or that other people have done?
Things on your website.
Yeah.
Either you or other people.
I'm trying to set you up for something.
I've done a Bith before, which, can be either from the movie or the holiday special. But of course, for me, it's from the holiday special. It has to be.
Of course.
But there's someone on your site that you had posted from a couple of years ago.
I'm trying to think of what that was. That's escaping me right now.
You might have to give him a better hint than that.
Yeah, I'll get a hint on that.
All right, you know what? I'll just come right out and say it because I thought it was hysterical. You had posted a picture of someone cosplaying as Too Much Makeup Luke.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So we were talking about the guy, the ringmaster guy, right?
Yes.
And he and a group of friends all did a group cosplay. So you had the ringmaster, you had Too Much Makeup Luke, you had a B. Arthur, you had a Sondan, you had, I think there was a Princess Leia, a whole group of holiday special costumers that went to Star Wars Celebration like that. And I thought that was the most amazing thing ever. Is like, this is awesome. This is, it's not just one person doing it, but a whole group of people liked the holiday special so much that they decided to cosplay it all together.
And Too Much Makeup Luke, it was like orange. He looked like Trump.
Yeah, the orange on orange is not the greatest look there at that jumpsuit.
No,
not at all. But you got to give someone a lot of credit for going as Too Much Makeup Luke, because
that's hilarious.
Who is going to really pick that out? It was like that woman who went as the gold bikini Leia from Saturday Night Live.
Right.
And she carried around a beach ball.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Loved those.
I think that's the cool thing about Star Wars, though, is, you can do these super obscure costumes. And, there's so much of Star Wars that sits on the surface and is low-hanging fruit for just about anybody. And that's great. People who want to be, one of these kind of like a Darth Vader or a Stormtrooper or, any of the mains. It's like that's fine. But, you can have this whole other level of nerdiness that happens with Star Wars and get into these, super, super obscure costumes. The Leia from Saturday Night Live is just awesome. Like, I love that Star Wars allows for that. I think that's just, it's part of the reason it has endured for so long and is so special to so many of us.
And it has a big enough fan base that people will get it. Maybe
not
many of them, but like the people who do, you have this immediate connection with.
Oh, when I had asked that Leia to sing the song, she did it in full, and she got a rousing applause at the end, because people then understood what it was.
Nice.
So can we say, as a group here, I think we can come to the conclusion that we are all thankful that the holiday special has added another layer of cosplay to the already rich universe of Star Wars cosplay that's out there.
Oh, here.
Absolutely.
Here. Yep.
Especially when you see the Chewbacca cosplayers walking around in the red Snuggies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those.
It also helps you save money on your outfit, too.
Yeah, no joke. That fur's not cheap.
Yeah.
And from cleaning the fur, because you can pretty much wear anything under that red Snuggie and save yourself a big dry cleaning bill. Now, one of the other things that I'm really thankful for is that these writers and authors are now putting the holiday special characters into official canon. And I squeal like a Chadra fan whenever I see these names popping up. Like, can anyone mention a time when a holiday special character had been introduced in the canon?
Itchy was actually mentioned in Solo: A Star Wars Story. And then, if you know what Shriwook sounds like, you'll hear Itchy's name being dropped when Han asks Chewbacca his name, and then Chewie responds with his noises, but what it actually says in the script is, Chewbacca, son of Atachuk.
Yes.
Which we saw in the script from the solo bonus features.
Yeah, that was in the bonus feature Team Wookiee when they show the page from that scene.
Mm-hmm.
And when it says son of Adachuk, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I was on Twitter so fast.
Yeah.
I definitely had to do a fist pump when that happened, when I saw that.
That was
There
amazing.
was, and I'm not sure which book it was, but I know one of the books introduced Akmina fairly recently.
Ooh.
Yeah. In fact, Akmina was first mentioned into canon in the 2016 reference book Star Wars Complete Locations in the Cantina section, but then she finally made an actual appearance in the short story The Cluehorn Cantina Caper from the
right.
2017 short story anthology From a Certain Point of View.
Yeah, so this is the particular story where it's centered around Muftak and
Kabe?
Yeah, Kabe, and they steal the belongings of the cantina's patrons and then give the proceeds to Akmina to pay the rent to Chalman.
Only Muftak has other ideas and
Uh-oh.
uses that money to drink himself silly.
Oh, that Muftak.
So yeah, she's being introduced, and then in the anthology book, forgetting the name of it, the Alien anthology book that came out when The Force Awakens came out, Gormanda was in one of those short stories.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember when we did the review with Joe Costa Drew?
Okay.
We mentioned that when the title slips my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But Lumpy, he was introduced in Chuck Wendig's Aftermath.
That's right.
Yeah, when Lumpy is reunited with Chewie after he escapes from the Imperial slave labor camp.
Nice.
Yeah, so Lumpy is enslaved but finds a way to get out, and then he leads the Imperials into an attack that also features Chewbacca. At the end of this big ambush, Chewie and Lumpy are reunited.
Aw.
Oh.
I think there's a big love for Chewie's family there. And I think Mala was also introduced, right?
Well, she's first introduced in the book, in the short story, A New Hope, The Princess, the Scoundrel, and the Farm Boy. So that's when she's first introduced into canon.
Okay.
So it's a whole different story. So we're getting these characters dropped in every once in a while, but at least we're getting them.
Yeah.
Because I know that Disney and Lucasfilm, they don't really want the holiday special getting out too much right now.
No, it's so sad.
But have you noticed the increased frequency at which we've been getting more and more of these characters introduced into canon and merchandise introduced that relates to the holiday special and mentions of it and so forth? It seems to be increasing.
Yeah, you're right. They'll have mentions and allusions, but they won't ever say the Star Wars holiday special. And when the Mandalorian series comes out from Jon Favreau and has that Boba Fett weapon from the holiday special, oh my goodness, that's got to open up doors. There's got to be that pink sea serpent in there somewhere.
Right.
And someone dressed in that same color scheme of the Boba Fett Mandalorian armor.
I suspect that won't be the only Easter egg from the holiday special that we'll see in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
No, there's going to be lots and lots of them. Now, speaking of Easter eggs, gentlemen, there are tons of Easter eggs and fun trivia nuggets in the Star Wars Holiday Special. So let's find out what they are through this Star Wars Holiday Trivia Tournament Special.
I didn't study.
Is it cheating if I look at my own website?
You know what? Since you made it,
cheating if
no.
I look at his website?
All right, eyes down, everybody.
All right, now is this a buzzer thing? Are they gonna have to say their names?
Yes, say your names.
To buzz in.
Yes. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. According to writer Bruce Valanche on Gilbert Gottfried's Amazing Colossal podcast, who was originally cast as the erotic Myrmia, but had to drop out because of a recent surgery?
Can I say Scott's name so that then he has to answer it?
Oh.
Scott?
I'm gonna say Diana Ross.
That's a good guess, but
Yep.
no. The first person cast for Myrmia was Cher.
Wow.
Yeah, I tried to put in the obvious clue of a recent surgery, but back then her surgeries wasn't as prolific as they were back in the 90s.
Okay.
I suppose so.
Now, is it Mermea or Mermia?
I think I heard someone call it Mermia. I think maybe it was Pablo Hidalgo.
In the grand tradition of Star Wars, I think there's probably going to be two ways to say it, at least.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
From a certain point of view, anyway.
Yeah, if you're
Whatever
from
rolls
the
off
north
the
or
tongue.
south part of Ryloth, it all depends.
Look, if Han can be Han or Han and Leia can be Leia or Leia, I
Yes.
figure Mermia can have two ways to say her name, too.
Okay. Okay, nice. All right. So here's the second question. According to producer and songwriter Mitzi Welch, what was the secret intention of the Mermea scene?
It's kind of funny that we're sitting here after all these years and we still can't figure out what that scene was for.
Well, was it intended for kids?
As she says in many interviews, the intention was to put a softcore porno scene that would pass the censors.
Wow.
Good Lord.
Wow.
I don't know why you would want.
Well, that's what we always suspected, but
Yeah, no kidding. I always get uncomfortable when I watch this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said the secret intention, so I was just like, well, no, that's the obvious on the
Oh,
surface. I was trying to think of some other one, and I couldn't come up with anything. That's weird.
okay.
All right.
So is our question.
Next.
We're 2 for 2 in my
Nice.
mind. Yeah.
All right. This will be an easy one. What role does Mickey Morton play other than Mala?
Tom,
Yes.
Gormanda's other hands.
All right. We'll give you that one, but there's one more role that Mickey Morton plays.
Scott,
Yes.
Torque the bouncer.
Torque, the Cantina bouncer, is correct.
Wow, it's like you were reading
Nice.
our show notes.
So it looks like Tom's got half a point
Okay.
and Scott's got a
Right.
point.
Nice.
All right, next.
We're on the board.
Yeah.
Name all 3 of Harvey Korman's characters.
Scott,
Yes.
we've got Dromboid, we've got Krellman, and we've got Gormanda.
Yep. Now, what was that first one?
Dromboid was the one that escaped me at the moment.
Okay.
And Dromboid, that's one of those things that only came up when I got my hands on a script and I looked through it, and it gives the name of that character, which they only refer to as an Amorphian being during the holiday special. But in the script, that's his name, Dromboid.
Okay.
All right, we'll have to change the answer to that one because the only answer I had found was the Amorphian instructor.
Right.
Yes.
As much as I looked, I did not find a character name. So you know what? We'll give 2 points to Scott for that one.
Ooh.
I feel like that's the sort of thing you could find on holiday special, the Star Wars Holiday Special.com. Am I saying the name of that right?
No, just Star Wars Holiday Special.com.
Okay, Star Wars Holiday Special.com. I'd check it out if I were you.
Incidentally, Mermea, her name as well didn't appear until I got the script, and then I saw it in there. I had no idea she had a name.
Oh.
Yeah, they go through all this trouble of naming these characters. Use them.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right,
here we
next.
go. Who provides the voice of Boba Fett in the animated short?
Ooh, that's a tricky one.
We'll give you a hint. He provides many voices in the Ewoks and Droids Adventure Hour.
Really?
Scott.
Yes.
So I'm going to say Don Franks.
And we would say you are correct.
But there's been some dispute about that, so that's why I was saying it's a pretty tricky one.
Oh, what's the dispute?
I think he passed away not too long ago. I tried to get in touch with him to see if I could verify that he actually did do the voice, because I know it was attributed to him, but I've never seen an actual verification that it was really him. We assume that it was him, but it's not 100% verified. But unfortunately, when he passed away, that information passed on with him. Maybe sometime we'll be able to dig it up somewhere else, but I have yet to find the full 100% verification that he did do that voice.
Wow, because I had triple and quadruple checked all of these facts, and I didn't hear anything about a debate, so we'll have to contact the fine folks over there at Nelvana. Maybe they know.
They may know. They entries on IMDb and so forth were quick to put his name in there, but I'm not sure that they necessarily had sources for that.
Okay. All right. We'll have to look into that one there. All right. What Easter egg do we see in the Millennium Falcon cockpit in the animated short?
Tom, dice.
The back dice is correct.
Nice. All right. That's one
you.
for Tom. All right.
Woo.
What second wave Kenner action figure featured a carded pick from the holiday special?
As mentioned previously.
Tom, Red Snaggletooth.
Red Snaggletooth is right. All right. And lastly, what action figure came with the description who was introduced in the November 1978 Star Wars television special, A Wookiee Holiday?
Scott.
Yes.
That would be Boba Fett.
That would be Boba Fett.
Woohoo!
Nice.
And you would think that Kenner would have done their research and found out that it's not called A Wookiee Holiday, but the Star Wars Holiday Special.
That's pretty. How did they even get that name?
That's a good question.
I'm sure it was a placeholder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure these were printed up a couple of months beforehand.
Okay.
Like, hey, should we go back and reprint these? No.
No.
What kid is going to double check these? Out they go. This will never be mentioned on a podcast 40 years from now.
No.
Right.
You know that.
What's a
that
podcast?
actually,
Never mind. You know.
That name actually makes a third name that for the cartoon, because, well, maybe a second name, but the Boba Fett cartoon was actually, when it was in production, it was referred to as the Faithful Wookiee. And if you look at the title at the beginning of it, when Captain Kazan is talking and the voiceover, and you see kind of this title and these weird characters come up on screen, if you look at that closely, you can kind of see that it says the Faithful Wookiee. The characters look a little bit like the familiar letters that they should be, but slightly different. That's the title card, and so that cartoon was originally called the Faithful Wookiee, but they never wind up using that term for it. And I don't know, maybe Kenner saw that and somehow mixed it up with the holiday special, and so they put their version of it on that flyer that came with Boba Fett. I don't know.
That works. You know what? I did try to match those letters on that animated special on the animated cartoon with Arabesh, just to see if maybe they were thinking about Arabesh way back then.
No.
But nope, not a bit.
No, it's its own thing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of neat. I would love to see some more of those characters in there, just because, oh gosh, I have this conversation with a bunch of other sort of Star Wars friends and artists where we're just like, how is there only one font in this galaxy? Never mind just one language, one letter set. There's one font. Like, we've got to do better.
If I were Emperor of the World, I would have everything being just one font. It'd make things so much easier. In one language.
Yeah, sure, Richard, but Comic Sans just isn't appropriate in all situations. Okay?
I beg to differ, Tom. I beg to differ.
I'm still waiting for us to get on the metric system.
Yeah, you know what? That would be great.
Oh, there's always that guy.
I'm always thinking, how many cups in a quart and all this? Yeah.
Well, I'm still waiting for us to go back to Betamax.
Yes.
Oh, nice. And there's that guy now. Okay.
I think we're all not going to win.
Speaking of the Betamax format, I want to mention the thing that I'm most thankful for. The number one thing I'm thankful for relating to the holiday special, and that is that VCRs existed at that time. They had not been out very long, but that people had VCRs in their home, and that someone bothered to record the thing back in the day.
Yes.
And it seemed like everyone now has the same copy, because every copy I see has the same commercials, the same long Kenner infomercial. So that one person who decided, I'm going to spend $55 on this videotape to record the holiday special, whoever you are, we salute you.
We salute you.
We sure do.
Can you imagine if they hadn't recorded it?
Oh, I know.
No, I don't want to live in that world. Now, before we wrap things up, gentlemen and ladies, is there any last parting words?
How about a nod to Stan Winston?
Yes.
And his, interpretations of the Wookiees and bringing to life that Wookiee family that you guys are so happy to see in other canon at this point. But I think he's the first person other than Stuart Freeborn to make an actual Wookiee, and that's his shop anyway, and that's a pretty cool thing right there.
Right.
Awesome. And despite how terrifying Itchy looks, he did a fantastic job.
Yeah, right. Now, Tom, the last time we were talking on our Halloween episode, you were telling me some behind-the-scenes stories about the Mala mask. Do you want to share those here?
Sure. I got to restore the original Mala mask. It only needed very minor sort of more conservation work than anything. And it was one of the pieces that turned up with Stuart Freeborn after he retired, he and Kay, and they were moving to this little cottage. And they had the folks from Prop Store of London help them go through some old molds and things like that, he had said. And it turns out to be this amazing archive of 50 years of makeup history that he had kept in this sort of mini estate that he had. And they helped him find homes for all this stuff. And among them was this Chewbacca head, but it didn't look right. There were some things that were off about it. The hair was a little different. The hair work on the face was a little weird. And it was still very much, it's so weird. In person, it really does feel right. It just feels like a real Chewbacca. And you're going, but what's a little off here? And it took us a little while to figure out, like, oh, wait, that's Mala. And in going through all of the paperwork, which thankfully Stuart saved all these years of makeup that he had done, he had saved all the paperwork along the way. And in the paperwork that he had saved, we found a letter from Stan Winston apologizing to Stuart. And what he was apologizing for was for taking one of the two Chewbacca masks that were made for the first movie. And when they sent both of them over to the US for the holiday special, and he took one of them and he turned it into Mala, which was a not reversible process. So when Stuart went to start Empire, he's expecting he would have his two Chewbacca masks to work with and he wouldn't have to make a new one. And instead he wound up having to make another one to have the backup because one of them had been turned into Mala, and he must have expressed some displeasure to Stan, and Stan sent him this letter of apology, and that letter still exists, and it's with the mask. It's with the owner of the mask, and I think that's just the coolest little extra bit to have with a prop ever.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Now, Scott, if you were to reveal a small nugget of information about the holiday special, what would it be? What's that one thing you've always had in your back pocket waiting to reveal?
Maybe I could talk about what one thing we sort of revealed or talked more about on the panel, and that is that Luke Skywalker has a completely different lightsaber in the holiday special, hanging on his belt. Of course, he never uses it, but it's hanging on his belt, and it's a totally different saber from anything used in any of the movies.
Wow!
It's still made with a Graflex flash unit, but it's a unit called a Graflite that looks completely different. And nobody seems to know why they had to use this different one. Either his original lightsaber was not available at the time, or they sent over the wrong one, or who knows what. But they made it look kind of like his regular lightsaber. But he wears that on his belt, and he's seen in some promotional photos around the same time with that lightsaber either in his hand or on his belt.
And what's interesting now is we're starting to see those same promotional photos recycled with a photoshopped lightsaber to be the correct one.
Wow.
They're changing history on us.
Again?
Someone went back in time. Changed it.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on our Star Wars Holiday Special 40th Anniversary Salute. Now, if any of the Skywalkers out there want to get a hold of you, where will they find you? Scott?
You can contact me through the website, StarWarsHolidaySpecial.com. Look for contact info there.
All right.
And how about you, Tom?
You can always go to tomspinadesigns.com or regalrobot.com, and you can follow at regalrobot and at tomspinadesigns on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, all that kind of fun stuff. And look us both up on YouTube as well.
Yeah, we'll also have that panel you did up on our show notes, because that was a great panel.
Yeah, our website, skywalkingthroughneverland.com.
Tom, do you want to tease a future project you're working on at Regal Robot or Tom Spina Designs?
Oh gosh, we have so much in the works, but I'll tell you what. So here's what I will tease. In just a short time after this airs, we are doing a Black Friday sale over at regalrobot.com that will be 20% off select Star Wars, including Mandalorian skull products, director's chairs, cafe tables, things like Blue Harvest and Revenge of the Jedi director chairs and stuff like that, and also our Emperor's Throne armchair, which is the comfiest way to rule a galaxy from your living room.
Wow. I can vouch for this. I have tested these products out, and they definitely stand up.
Wow.
Thank you.
And when does this sale begin?
That'll begin on Black Friday. It will extend through Small Business Saturday, because even though we dream big, we are a very small business at the core and just really a bunch of fans. And we're going to take it right through the end of Cyber Monday. So it will go from Friday to midnight on Monday. And I hope a lot of folks visit us and take advantage.
So that's Friday, November 23rd through Monday, November 26th.
Correct.
Got it.
Visit regalrobot.com and you'll use code, I believe it's holiday18 to save.
Nice. All right. Well.
All right. Now, there's only one way to roll out of this segment, and that's by putting on our red Wookiee snuggies and all coming together to sing Princess Leia's Life Day song, A Day to Celebrate. We celebrate a day of peace, a day of harmony,
a day of joy.
We all can share together joyously.
It's the only way to celebrate joy.
A day that takes us through the darkness.
Oh, God.
A day that leads us into might. Tom?
A day that makes us want to
Just trying to find the lyrics. You guys keep going. You got this.
The light.
A day that brings
the promise that one day we'll be free to live, to laugh, to dream, to grow, to trust, to love, to be, to be.
We are standing and cheering that effort. Thank you.
That's the first time I've ever attempted to do that.
Well, you know what? You did it perfectly.
You knocked it out of the park.
I'll tell you what. Next time I'll learn it on guitar. I'll play the backup. I'm much better that way than singing.
Nice.
Well, that would be great.
All right, folks.
All right. Well, guys, once again, thank you for that. That was a lot of fun. Hope it was as much fun for you as it was for us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.
So it's good night, friend. Good night, but not goodbye.
Well, that wraps up our 40th anniversary salute to the Star Wars Holiday Special on episode 230 of
Skywalking Through Neverland.
We would like to thank Tom Spina, Scott Kirkwood, Peter Kovacs, and his kids, Tristan and Lauren.
And we also want to thank Steve Baldwin from the Wretched Hive Podcast for letting us know about his listener, Matthew Jacobs, who really needs your help in this Thanksgiving week. Now, once again, please go over there and visit GoFundMe.com/XYXY2D, as in Darth, -fire-recovery. So please go over there and help and Skywalkers, if you know anyone else affected by these fires, please let us know, and we're reaching out there as well because we want to help out. Being so close, so devastating.
Yeah. All right, Skywalkers. Well, if you would like more Skynet in your life, please check out skywalkingforce.com. It's where we plus up our content and offer little extras just for you, and sometimes do fun random contests. So be a part of the Skywalking Force at skywalkingforce.com. Now, if you'd like to support us in a different way, please just share the show with a friend. We really appreciate any shares at all. And then you can also click on the links on our website, skywalkingthroughneverland.com. We have referral links to Pozu Shoes, Oppo Suits, or TeePublic, which has our lovely little holiday BB-8 design. So yay, head right there. Now, before we go, we want to tell you about a Skywalking Meet-Up at Disneyland to celebrate Festival of Holidays. The meetup will be on December 4th from 7 to 9 p.m. We are meeting up at the entrance to Festival of the Holidays in DCA, and we are planning to have lots of fun eating and drinking around the booths that make up the event.
Wait a minute, is this going to be Secret Squirrel free? I got to know this now.
Yes.
Okay, good.
And at that point, we should have, thanks to our Skywalking Force, we had a goal of hitting a certain amount so that we could get binaural headphones. And we should have those in by then. I think they should be coming this week. And we're about to post some more goals on there for some other items that we need when we're doing like all these press events. You know, it would be great to have
a Steadicam.
A Steadicam thing for the iPhone. Like that's our next big thing. So, Skywalkers, you are helping out every month. So thank you.
And another big Wookiee hug to all of you.
I know. All right. So once again, remember the meetup is December 4th, 7 to 9 p.m. at DCA. And in our Skywalking Through Neverland group on Facebook, we actually have an event there that you can join. We hope to see you there, Skywalkers.
All right, Skywalkers, you can also find Skywalking Through Neverland at jedinews.co.uk, Fantha Tracks, and all of the episodes that published over at RetroZap will still be under the archived podcasts.
All right, so you can find us. We are at Skywalking Pod on Twitter and on Instagram. Make sure you stay tuned to those social media channels for a public giveaway of these Disneyland holiday goodies. Okay? You can also email us. We are share at skywalkingthroughneverland.com, and you can join our Facebook group, the happiest place in the internet. And you can just search Facebook for Skywalking Through Neverland group. You can request to join, and then you must answer the 2 questions that pop up.
All right, and as always, we want to hear your reviews, so go over there to Apple Podcasts or Stitcher and tell us what you think. I'm not going to tell you to leave 5 stars, because that would be pointless. We want you to give us as many stars as you think.
Now stay tuned for bloopers and some fun conversation after the credits.
Now, always remember to celebrate Life Day.
Have a happy Thanksgiving. And...
Neverland on Alderaan.
Some imagination, huh?
To our Skywalkers and Tweetwalkers, thanks for listening. Skywalking Through Neverland is created and produced by Richard and Sarah Woloski. Original music by Rob Dellinger. Creative consultant Mark Augushwitz. Technical advisor Peter Heitman. Facebook administrators Donald Wicks, Joey Pittman, and Norma Heitman.
Skywalking Through Neverland is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Any sounds, music, and clips played during this podcast are the property of their copyright holders. All original content is property of Skywalking Through Neverland, all rights reserved. Sorry, had to be said.
All right, here we go.
Here we are.
This is what you can look forward to on...
our Life Day celebration of...
Yeah, okay.
And in case you are in a celebratory.
All right, Skywalkers. So now let's celebrate Life Day with bleh. Okay, hold on.
One more time.
See, when we don't write this stuff down. All right.
There's that one shot. There's the one shot where B. Arthur climbs into the booth with the tinted dwarf and kind of pats it on the head, and as she's singing.
There you go. Yeah.
Now, wasn't that big rat creature used for another 1977 horror film?
Food of the Gods.
Thank you.
There you go.
Now, here's another interesting thing about that. The Star Wars radio plays actually mention the Tintin Dwarf when Luke goes into the cantina and they've got all the extra, dialogue and so forth that they put in to flesh out the radio play. Luke is looking around the cantina and he's talking about what he sees, and he says, "Oh, and there's a Tintin Dwarf." So that's another kind of interesting way that's kind of canonized by the radio plays.
According to producer and songwriter Mitzi Welch, what was the secret invention of the Mermea scene?
Another Mermea question. So what was
secret invention?
I'm starting to feel like I'm on the wrong episode of this podcast.
Okay, it's the secret intention. So Sarah, read that question again.
Intention. Okay.
Oh, intention.
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Oh.
And it was that Luke Skywalker poster I had when I was a kid that I bought it, but I wasn't convinced it was Mark Hamill. Just because he looked so different.
His hair was darker.
Yes.
He just looked a little different.
Yeah, and his pants were white instead of tan, but it said Star Wars on it, so I bought it.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
I remember when a lot of those shots showed up on the Topps trading cards.
Yes.
The Green series. It seems like they were kind of running out of photos to put print on the cards, and so they started doing the promo shots, and sometimes it would be the same shot only cropped in a little closer of Luke with his blaster or whatever. And I always thought that was a little bit of a cheat, but I always wondered about those and where those shots came from. They obviously weren't shot during the movie. Tom and I had a theory we were talking about that maybe Mark Hamill was wearing a wig in the special.
Yeah, I think so. Harrison, that's his hair, almost certainly. And so, maybe they did the promo photos a little ahead of the special, and then, by the time the special aired, he had grown it out just, another half inch or so. And that's also down to styling. But yeah, Mark Hamill, I don't know whether it's just a fresh cut and dye job or if he's wearing a wig in that show. And there's definitely some looks where you look at it and you go like, they might have put him in a wig for that. Maybe they said, your hair looks too different. We're going to throw you in this wig. And then the wig looks very different from
different
Star Wars. It's, but
well, I think, Mark Hamill's on Twitter.
Someone should ask him.
Yeah. Let's ask him.
All right.
Skywalkers.
We're on it.
Yeah.
At Hamill himself.
All right. We will have that answer very, very soon.
Okay. Yay!
So it's good night, friend. Good night, but not goodbye.